Hello, grade 5. This is our first recording for Four Guys in a Math Cart, and today we'll be covering using the RDW process to solve word or story problems, standard 5NF7, and in this standard you will apply and extend previous understandings of multiplication and division to multiply and divide fractions. So let's begin. First off, before we think about solving a problem, it is best that you break the problem apart so you can understand what the problem is exactly asking you to do. So to do that, we use what's called the cube process. Now the cube process is to allow you to annotate the problem. It's very easy. Cube involves first circle the key numbers or math symbols. After you circle the key numbers or math symbols, then you begin to underline the exact question that is being asked. And as you analyze the problem and circle and underline, really drawing a map on what you're going to solve, then box in or box any math words. And I'm going to put quotations around there. Math action words, let's say that. Now, what is a math action word? A math action word is any word that tells you to do something mathematically. Then that comes to E. E is evaluating the problem by beginning the RDW process. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3, RDW begin. Let's take a look at our problem. After a class potluck, Emily has 3 equally sized apple pies left, and she wants to divide them into 8 equal portions to give to 8 students who want to take some pie home. Key part of the question is here. Let's begin to annotate. Let's circle the key numbers or math symbols. Take this time to begin with the C in cube. Then let's share with our partners what we think the possible key numbers or math symbols in this problem may be. That's awesome. All right, now with your partner, since we circled, and I'm going to kind of guide with this. Okay, first part. Key numbers. I see this 3. I see this 8 here. This 8 here. I also see 8 here as well. And I see these numbers here, so I'm just going to circle them as well. Cube. Started with C. Now with your partner, let's continue with the U and the B. Remember, underline the question that's being asked and then box any math action words that you think can help you solve the problem. Awesome. Now, let's look at underlining and the boxing. Now, I kind of made it easy for you for this time, but in this case, I want to look at this problem here and I say, well, Emily has 3 equal sized pies left. She wants to divide them into 8 equal portions to give to 8 students. I think what fraction of a pie will each of the 8 students get? And I'm going to need to explain how the question or the answer is related to a division problem, 3 divided by 8. Thinking about that, that is a 2-part question. Hopefully, in your W, when you write out your answer, you will have 2 answers that are fully written and explained. I've circled 3, circled 8, 8. Also circled 8 here. I've circled this here. Now let's box, see which action words you may have boxed. So if I look at this problem, I'm going to say, well, after a class potluck, Emily has 3. It's not really an action word, but I'm just going to say this is kind of important. Equally sized, divide, key. I see that equal portions. I see fraction here. I see division problem. I also see this division algorithm. I think that this is sort of a math action word because it's going to ask you to explain as well. So all of these parts right here continue with the B process, C-U-B, circled, underlined, and boxed. So now I can really get into the question as well. Let's take some time. I just want to show something for a moment, just so we can see if you all kind of remember of using dividing fractions.
Dividing fractions by whole numbers. To understand what's happening when we divide a fraction by a whole number, let's look at the problem 1/2 divided by 6. To make this problem easier to visualize, imagine a half-eaten cherry pie. When we divide 1/2 by 6, it's like asking how much of the whole pie each person will get if we divide half of the pie into 6 equal parts. Now, if the half contains 6 equal parts, how many equal parts are there in the whole pie? You know 2 halves make a whole, so just double the number of slices to get 12. So, how much of the whole pie will each of the 6 people get? Each person will get 1 of the 12 original slices, or 1/12 of the whole cherry pie. Now, let's look at how the same problem works as a mathematical equation. Just like with whole numbers, when you divide a fraction, the divisor splits the dividend. into smaller parts. But it can be tricky to see how to perform division on a fraction. So instead, multiply by the reciprocal of the divisor. But what is the reciprocal of a whole number? Remember that a whole number is the same as that number over 1. From here, just flip the fraction to get the reciprocal. This trick works because multiplication and division are inverse operations. Then, simply multiply across the numerator and denominator, and simplify, if necessary, to find the result.
Quick mini lesson on dividing a fraction. So let's get into it. Now, we have annotated, and now we're beginning the read process. Now, the read process, 3 steps. Who are the main characters? Identify those now. Now what's important is those main characters have a problem. What is it that you need to do? Well, let me go back a little bit. The main characters have a problem. Identify that. What do you think that the main character's problem could be? What is it that the main characters want you to help them to do? And I use bullets. Now that you have identified the main characters in this particular story, what is it that those main characters have a problem with? Identify what is it that you will need to use mathematically to help them solve that problem. Awesome. Now let's go to the D, which is draw. Now draw is very simple. This is where you show your plan. The draw area is where you can use your solving abilities to describe how you got to your conclusion. So now, will you use the common algorithm that was described in the video? Will you show models? Depending upon how deep you want your answer to be scored, you should use all drawings that's available, which covers mathematical practice 4, modeling with mathematics. Take this time to really think about and show how your plan would work in solving this problem. Now, that's great. Now, what is the W? Never really got to the W. That is the right. Take your knowledge of what you used in read, take your knowledge of what you used in draw, and in the right section, write out your answer. In a complete sentence. And I'm going to show you what I mean by a complete sentence. Often I will take what the question is asking and begin it in my answer. So the question is asking, what fraction of the pie will each student get? Well, I will say, to start off my sentence, the fraction of the pie each student would get is, and then plug in your answer. The next part, because it's a two-part question, remember we stated that from the last time, is explain how your answer is related to division problem 3 divided by 8. Now that's going to be a little difficult. You're going to have to take some time to think about it. But how you can begin your sentence? Use all your math models. Use all your information that you use to get to your final conclusion. And then you say, my answer is explained by, and then plug in the rest of your thoughts. 2 complete sentences. And that's the read, draw, write process. Thank you for your time.